Acids, bases, and buffers. Acids, bases, and buffers. An introduction. Autoionization of water. Pure water never contains only H2O. At 25 degrees, two H2O molecules react with each other. One H2O molecule transfers an H plus ion to the other H2O molecule. This produces an OH minus hydroxide ion and an H3O plus hydronium ion. The hydronium ion has been characterized as the substance that gives rise to the properties of acidic solutions: sour taste, the ability to conduct electricity, and the ability to turn blue litmus red. Acids are defined as substances that increase the concentration of H3O plus aqueous when dissolved in water and that contain at least one ionizable hydrogen atom in their chemical structure. The following equation describes the reaction of hydrogen chloride with water to produce hydrochloric acid. So we have HCl plus H2O to produce H3O plus Cl minus. The proton H plus transfers from the chloride ion to water. Here is a list of 10 common acids and their structure. The hydroxide ion has the properties of a bitter taste, slippery feel, the ability to conduct electricity, and the change of red litmus to blue. These are bases. Bases are substances that increase the concentration of OH, negative, aqueous, ions in solution. This is accomplished in one of two ways. The ionic bases containing OH negative ions, such as sodium hydroxide, NaOH, dissociate in water to produce OH negative ions directly, shown in our diagram in part B. So the equation becomes NaOH gives Na plus OH minus. Some bases combine with H plus ions directly. Ammonia, NH3, is a product of decomposed plant and animal matter and is such a base. Instead of releasing OH ions into solutions directly, ammonia combines with an H plus ion from the H2O to produce an ammonium ion, NH4 plus, and a hydroxide ion, OH minus. So we get the equation NH3 plus H2O produces NH4 positive plus OH minus. Since water is neutral, this reaction is called a neutralization reaction and occurs whenever an acid is mixed with a base. In these reactions, water and salt are produced. H3O plus OH gives 2H2O, or H plus OH minus gives H2O. Two choices. Since water is neutral, this reaction is called a neutralization reaction and occurs whenever an acid is mixed with a base. In these reactions, water and salt are produced. Here is another example. HCl, which is an acid, is mixed with NaOH, a base, to produce H2O, water, and NaCl, a salt. The acidity of an aqueous solution may be expressed in terms of hydronium ion concentrations, symbolized as H3O+. The concentration of a solute in aqueous solutions is measured in moles of the solute per liter of solution and is symbolized as mole per liter. The mole being the amount of any substance that contains 6.02 times 10 to the exponent 23 entities of that substance. A hydronium ion concentration of 1.0 mole per liter means that the solution contains 1.0 mole of H3O plus, which contains 6.02 times 10 to the 23 H3O plus ions per liter of solution. In pure water at 25 degrees, the concentration of H3O is 1.0 times 10 to the negative 7 mole per liter. It is common in acid-base chemistry for concentrations to be very small values. The pH scale. The pH scale was devised as a way to express the concentration of H3O+. The pH of an aqueous solution is equal to the negative logarithm of the hydronium ion concentration, written as negative 10, the base, H3O plus aqueous. The pH of pure water is equal to 7, since the pH is equal to negative log base 10, 10 to the exponent negative 7 mole per liter, which gives us the value of 7. Any aqueous solution with pH 7 is neutral, indicating a balance of hydronium and hydroxide ions. Solutions whose pH is less than 7 are considered acidic. Solutions with pH greater than 7 are considered basic or alkaline. Here's a diagram showing you some common acids and bases. Gastric juices, pH 2. Tomato juice, pH 4. Human urine, pH 5. Pure water, pH 7. And on the basic side, human blood, 7.4. Hand soap, pH of 10. And household bleach, pH of 12. Strong and weak acids and bases. Acids and bases may be classified as strong or weak according to the degree to which they ionize when dissolved in water. Strong acids such as HCl and strong bases such as NaOH ionize completely when dissolved in water. And here is their equation. Acids and bases may be classified as strong or weak according to the degree in which they ionize when dissolved in water. Weak acids, such as acetic acid, and weak bases, such as NH3, ionize partially when dissolved in water. Notice in the equations that are given, the double arrows indicate that these reactions may proceed in both directions. This is called reversible reactions. A new term, equilibrium, means when approximately 1.3% of the acetic acid molecules have ionized, the rate of forward and backward reactions become equal, and the solution is said then to be in a state of equilibrium. Conjugate acids and bases. According to the Bronsted-Lowry concept, reversible acid-base reactions involve the transfer of a proton. An acid is a proton donor, a base is a proton acceptor. In an acetic acid solution, the forward reaction involves a protein transfer from acetic acid to water. The acetic acid acts as an acid, of course. The water, H2O, acts as the base. In the reverse reaction, the hydronium ion acts as the acid and the acetate ion acts as the base. Conjugate acids and bases, acetic acid, acetate, and hydronium ions and water are conjugate acid-base pairs. Notice we have the conjugate base, H2O, the conjugate acid, H3O+. CH3COOH is the conjugate acid, and the conjugate base is CH3COO-. Acid-base buffers again. Living cells use buffers to resist significant changes in pH. In living organisms, buffers usually consist of conjugate acid-base pairs in equilibrium. The most important buffer in human extracellular fluid and blood is carbonic acid, or bicarbonate for the base, which is the buffer. The components of this buffer are produced when carbon dioxide reacts with water molecules in body fluids. In the formation of the carbonic acid bicarbonate buffer, carbon dioxide and water react to form carbonic acid, H2CO3. Carbonic acid then ionizes to form bicarbonate ions, H3O3 plus H, and this is a diagram to illustrate that. Here's a case study. Person A eats a vinaigrette salad. H plus ions enter the bloodstream. Then HCO3 minus reacts with the H plus to produce H2CO3. If a base enters the blood and removes H plus ions, H2CO3 ionizes to replace missing H plus ions in the blood. The carbonic acid molecules, the conjugate base, and the bicarbonate ions, carbonic acid molecules, the conjugate acid, and the bicarbonate ions, the conjugate base, help maintain the pH of blood at 7.4. An increase or decrease in blood pH of 0.2 to 0.4 pH is fatal if not treated immediately. Acidosis is the pH below 7.35. Alkalosis is the pH above 7.45. Note, proteins are able to buffer solutions because some of their amino acids in their structure may be acidic and others may be basic. Together, amino acids can remove excess H3O plus or OH negative from a solution. Now, let's complete our assignment.